Hi everyone, welcome back to Bible in a Year. My name is Natalie and today we are on day 88. I'm so glad that you're here today and I hope you're doing great. We're going to be reading out of Exodus chapter 38, Proverbs chapter 20. We are going to finish the book of Acts today by reading Acts chapter 28 and then we'll close out the day with Psalm chapter 60, but we're only reading verses 5 through 12 today. So let's get started with Exodus chapter 38. Here we go. He made the altar of burnt offering of acacia wood. It was square. Its length was 5 cubits, its width was 5 cubits, and its height was 3 cubits. He made its horns on its 4 corners. Its horns were of one piece with it, and he overlaid it with bronze. He made all the vessels of the altar, the pots, the shovels, the basins, the forks, and the fire pans. He made all its vessels of bronze. He made for the altar a grating of a network of bronze, under the ledge around it beneath, reaching halfway up. He cast 4 rings for the 4 corners of bronze grating to be places for the poles. He made the poles of acacia wood and overlaid them with bronze. He put the poles into the rings on the sides of the altar with which to carry it. He made it hollow with planks. He made the basin of bronze and its base of bronze out of the mirrors of the ministering women who ministered at the door of the tent of meeting. He made the court. For the south side southward, the hangings of the court were of fine twined linen, 100 cubits. Their pillars were 20, and their sockets 20, of bronze. The hooks of the pillars and their fillets were of silver. For the north side, 100 cubits, their pillars 20, and their sockets 20, of bronze. The hooks of the pillars and their fillets of silver. For the west side were hangings of 50 cubits, their pillars 10, and their sockets 10, the hooks of the pillars and their fillets of silver. For the east side eastward, 50 cubits. The hangings for the one side were 15 cubits, their pillars 3, and their sockets 3. And so for the other side, on this hand and that hand, by the gate of the court, were hangings of 15 cubits, their pillars 3, and their sockets 3. All the hangings around the court were of fine twined linen. The sockets for the pillars were of bronze. The hooks of the pillars and their fillets were of silver. Their capitals were overlaid with silver. All the pillars of the court had silver bands. The screen for the gate of the court was the work of the embroiderer, of purple, blue, scarlet, and fine twined linen. 20 cubits was the length, and the height along the width was 5 cubits, like the hangings of the court. Their pillars were 4, and their sockets 4 of bronze. Their hooks of silver, and the overlaying of their capitals, and their fillets of silver. All the pins of the tabernacle and around the court were of bronze. These are the amounts of the materials used for the tabernacle, even the tabernacle of the testimony, as they were counted, according to the commandment of Moses, for the service of the Levites, by the hand of Ithamar, the son of Aaron the priest. Bezalel, the son of Uri, the son of Hur, of the tribe of Judah, made all that Yahweh commanded Moses. With him was Oholiab, the son of Ismach, of the tribe of Dan, an engraver, and a skillful workman, and an embroiderer in blue, in purple, in scarlet, and in fine linen. All the gold that was used for the work in all the work of the sanctuary, even the gold of the offering, was 29 talents and 730 shekels, according to the shekel of the sanctuary. The silver of those who were counted of the congregation was 100 talents and 1,775 shekels, according to the shekel of the sanctuary. A bekah, a head, that is, half a shekel, according to the shekel of the sanctuary, for everyone who passed over to those who were counted from 20 years old and upward, for 603,500 men. That number does not make sense to me. This is what it says. Let me start over at verse 26. A bekah, a head, that is, half a shekel, according to the shekel of the sanctuary, for everyone who passed over to those who were counted from 20 years old and upward, for 603,550 men. The 100 talents of silver were of casting of sockets of the sanctuary and the sockets of the veil, 100 sockets for the 100 talents, 1 talent per socket. From the 1,775 shekels, he made hooks for the pillars, overlaid their capitals, and made fillets for them. The bronze of the offering was 70 talents and 2,400 shekels. With this he made the sockets to the door of the tent of meeting, the bronze altar, the bronze grating for it, all the vessels of the altar, the sockets around the court, the sockets of the gate of the court, all the pins of the tabernacle, and the pins around the court. Oh my, that must have been so beautiful. All right, Proverbs chapter 20. All right, wine is a mocker and beer is a brawler. Whoever is led astray by them is not wise. The terror of a king is like the roaring of a lion. He who provokes him to anger forfeits his own life. It is an honor for a man to keep aloof from strife, but every fool will be quarreling. The sluggard will not plow by reason of the winter, therefore he shall beg in harvest and have nothing. Counsel in good heart of man is like deep water, but a man of understanding will draw it out. Many men claim to be men of unfailing love, but who can find a faithful man? A righteous man walks in integrity. Blessed are his children after him. A king who sits on the throne of judgment scatters away all evil with his eyes. Who can say, I have made my heart pure, I am clean and without sin? Differing weights and differing measures, both of them alike are an abomination to Yahweh. Even a child makes himself known by his doings, whether his work is pure or whether it is right. The hearing ear and the seeing eye, Yahweh has made even both of them. Don't love sleep, lest you come to poverty. Open your eyes, and you shall be satisfied with bread. It's no good, says the buyer, but when he has gone his way, then he boasts. There is gold and abundance of rubies, but the lips of knowledge are a rare jewel. Take the garment of one who puts up collateral for a stranger, and hold him in pledge for a wayward woman. Fraudulent food is sweet to a man, but afterwards his mouth is filled with gravel. Plans are established by advice. By wise guidance you wage war. He who goes about as a talebearer reveals secrets. Therefore, don't keep company with him who opens wide his lips. Whoever curses his father or his mother, his lamp shall be put out in blackness of darkness. An inheritance quickly gained at the beginning won't be blessed in the end. Don't say, I will pay back evil. Wait for Yahweh, and he will save you. Yahweh detests differing weights, and dishonest scales are not pleasing. A man's steps are from Yahweh. How then can man understand his way? It is a snare to a man to make a rash dedication, then later to consider his vows. A wise king winnows out the wicked and drives the threshing wheel over them. The spirit of man is Yahweh's lamp, searching all his innermost parts. Love and faithfulness keep the king safe. His throne is sustained by love. The glory of young men is their strength. The splendor of old men is their gray hair. Wounding blows cleanse away evil, and beatings purge the innermost parts. That chapter reminded me, while I was reading, a little bit of kind of the home decorations, where there's those little sayings of, whining 25 cents or something like that. It's like I'm walking through a house with all these little quotations and sayings in Proverbs. All right, let's finish up Acts by reading Acts chapter 28. So Paul and the rest of the prisoners bailed from the boat. When we had escaped, then they learned that the island was called Malta. The natives showed us uncommon kindness, for they kindled a fire and received us all, because of the present rain and because of the cold. But when Paul had gathered a bundle of sticks and laid them on the fire, a viper came out because of the heat and fastened on his hand. When the natives saw the creature hanging from his hand, they said to one another, "No doubt this man is a murderer, whom, though he has escaped from the sea, yet justice has not allowed to live." However, he shook off the creature into the fire and wasn't harmed. But they expected that he would have swollen or fallen down dead suddenly. But when they watched for a long time and saw nothing bad happen to him, they changed their minds and said that he was a god. Now in the neighborhood of that place were lands belonging to the chief man of the island, named Publius, who received us and courteously entertained us for 3 days. The father of Publius lay sick of fever and dysentery. Paul entered into him, prayed, and laying his hands on him, healed him. Then, when this was done, the rest also who had diseases in the island came and were cured. They also honored us with many honors, and when we sailed, they put on board the things that we needed. After 3 months, we set sail in a ship of Alexandria, which had wintered in the island, whose figurehead was the twin brothers. Touching at Syracuse, we stayed there for 3 days. From there, we circled around and arrived in Arhegium. After 1 day, a south wind sprang up, and on the 2nd day, we came to Puteoli, where we found brothers, and were entreated to stay with them for 7 days. So we came to Rome. From there, the brothers, when they heard of us, came to meet us as far as the market of Appius and the 3 taverns. When Paul saw them, he thanked God and took courage. When he entered into Rome, the centurion delivered the prisoners to the captain of the guard, but Paul was allowed to stay by himself with the soldier who guarded him. After 3 days, Paul called together those who were the leaders of the Jews. When they had come together, he said to them, I, brothers, though I had done nothing against the people or the customs of our fathers, still was delivered prisoner from Jerusalem into the hands of the Romans, who, when they had examined me, desired to set me free, because there was no cause of death in me. But when the Jews spoke against it, I was constrained to appeal to Caesar. Not that I had anything about which to accuse my nation. For this cause, therefore, I asked to see you and to speak with you. For because of the hope of Israel, I am bound with this chain. They said to him, We neither received letters from Judea concerning you, nor did any of the brothers come here to report or speak any evil news of you. But we desire to hear from you what you think. For as concerning this sect, it is known to us that everywhere it is spoken against. When they had appointed him a day, many people came to him at his lodging. He explained to them, testifying about God's kingdom and persuading them concerning Jesus, both from the law of Moses and from the prophets, from morning until evening. Some believed the things that which were spoken, and some disbelieved. When they didn't agree among themselves, they departed after Paul had spoken one message. The Holy Spirit spoke rightly through Isaiah the prophet to our fathers, saying, Go to this people and say, In hearing you will hear, but will in no way understand. In seeing you will see, but will in no way perceive. For this people's heart has grown callous, their ears are dull of hearing, their eyes they have closed, lest they should see with their eyes, hear with their ears, understand with their heart, and would turn again, then I would heal them. Be it known therefore to you that the salvation of God is sent to the nations, and they will listen. When he had said these words, the Jews departed, having a great dispute among themselves. Paul stayed 2 whole years in his own rented house and received all who were coming to him, preaching God's kingdom and teaching the things concerning the Lord Jesus Christ with all boldness, without hindrance. And that concludes the book of Acts. Wow. All right, Psalm chapter 60, verses 5 through 12. So that your beloved may be delivered, save with your right hand and answer us. God has spoken from his sanctuary. I will triumph. I will divide Shechem and measure out the valley of Succoth. Gilead is mine, and Manasseh is mine. Ephraim also is the defense of my head. Judah is my scepter. Moab is my wash basin. I will throw my sandal on Edom. I shout in triumph over Philistia. Who will bring me into the strong city? Who has led me to Edom? Haven't you, God, rejected us all? You don't go out with our armies, God. Give us help against the adversary. For the help of man is vain. Through God, we will do valiantly, for it is He who will tread down our adversaries. You don't go out with our armies, God. Give us help against the adversary. I am feeling that these days. And I suppose you could read that no matter what side of the fence you're on. There's a lot going on in this world, and there are a lot of disagreements. And this channel is not a channel to debate. But I do believe that that rings true for no matter what side you're on. You don't go out with our armies. Which army are you in? I know which army I'm in. I'm in the army that Jesus is the new covenant, that Jesus is love. The new laws are to love. That's the army I'm in. So, anyways, I digress. I hope everybody has a wonderful day today. Boy, if we finished up Acts, what does that mean for tomorrow? That would mean, we're going to start Romans. Woo! That's a heavy one. All right, but we can do it. Please come on back for tomorrow, which will be day 89. And until then, have a fantastic day. Think about the words that we read today. Have a talk with God. Have a talk with God as Moses talked with God. Put your hands on your heart and let that tether to the Lord as you talk to Him. Have a conversation with whichever is going on in your life right now and open up that relationship. All right? And until then, I will see you tomorrow. Bye.